Hey, it's Ben Kuzma from Province Sports along with my colleague Ed Willis. Well, here we are 24 hours later after we last reconvened or did convene, and here we are. I mean, the coronavirus has gone to pandemic levels, and interesting decision by the NHL today.
Yeah, is it 24 hours or 24 days? It's just, it has come at so fast, and just the degree to which this story has changed is, I've never really experienced anything like it. I was sitting on my couch kind of just, gazing at the TV, probably doing something else, and I saw the films of the basketball game, saw, the Jazz, saw Rudy Gobert, and it took me a while to process everything, and then when the NBA announces that they're suspending operations, then it becomes obvious there's only really one outcome that's going to come today, so it's just a matter of time and what it's going to look like. So here we are in this new world, and nobody really knows what's going to happen next.
I think the big concern was, what if an NHL player tests positive?
Sure.
Of course, that would have been the big tipping point. But, the NHL it's a bit of a different animal. If you look at all the pro leagues, it has probably the biggest percentage of walk-up clientele. The fact that if they're looking at lost revenues here, all those special suites, all those expensive beers, there's certainly something at play here from an economic perspective for the owners. But to be prudent, I think the NHL has done the right thing. I think the big question now that kind of sets the NHL apart, there seems to be some thought that if some time passes here, that they may go back to work. What do we make of that?
Yeah, again, uncharted territory, right? Like, anything's possible, nothing's possible. I don't know. I just, when I see the NBA is telling teams it's going to be at least 30 days, and that is the best possible case scenario. I think we're measuring things in terms of months here, not weeks. And I'm not trying to be alarmist. I just the way this whole thing has gone, and the degree to which it has spread, I'm not sure how it plays out any other way. So, I mean, we could very well be talking about a Stanley Cup, and that might be great, but it might be awarded the first week in August.
Yeah.
That's kind of the world we're living in right now, and like, nobody knows. I know people, like, they expect to turn into this maybe for some, like, hard and fast answers and some clear, cold logic. I'm not sure it exists.
Yeah, nothing says playoff hockey like humidity in Philadelphia in July. But I guess from a Canuck perspective, from a selfish perspective, you wonder, if they were to come back and play at some point. I mean, Jacob Markstrom gets more time to rehab. Brock Besser can skate quicker. Maybe Chris Tanev comes back. But I really think in the big picture, with only 6 games remaining on the home schedule, what they do in the interim. I mean, there's some talk now with the PA. What do players do in the interim here? Can they have informal skates? Are there insurance issues at play here with players going out and trying to stay in shape? How many do you allow in the gym at a time? I mean, there are so many variables here. I do think one thing we're working on here that's kind of interesting from a fan perspective in Vancouver and from the charitable community, the fact that there's been such a great support of the 50-50 fund reaching out to the Canucks today. They've already surpassed what they're going to contribute to the Canucks hospice, the Autism Network, BC Children's Hospital, and that's amazing, and that speaks to the fans. I mean, some of those jackpots were astronomical. So on a bad day, there's some good news. Where it goes from here, we don't know. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, when's my next trip? I'm going to cancel that one. Do I cancel the one after it? We don't know, but one thing we do know for sure, Ed, that NHL did the prudent thing today.
Yeah, I think so, and I don't think they had much choice in the matter. I think they resisted it about as long as they can for a number of reasons, and you can guess what they are, and they're all to do with money and gates and playoff revenue and all the rest. But they had to do what they do. Now we'll see what happens after this.
And it's a day like any other, because if you're here in Arizona today, it's actually raining. There's no spring ball. Something's happening here. So Ben Kuzma, Ed Willis, thanks for tuning in.